Welcome to Lunch with Legacy Leaders, a weekly talk show with local and national thought leaders discussing issues impacting the Black community. Now introducing our host, Miss Anne Marie Sorrell.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lunch with Legacy Leaders. I'm your host, Anne Marie Sorrell, President and CEO of the Mosaic Group, South Florida's premier marketing, advertising, and public relations firm. We're so happy that you took time out of your schedule to join us this afternoon. But before we get started with our broadcast, I'd like to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Thank you to Demesman and Dover Accident Attorneys, AARP, the Florida Lottery, FAMU Mary, and All of Us Research Program at the University of Miami. Today, I am joined by my good friend. I'm so happy to see her, special guest, Miramar Commissioner Alexandra P. Davis. And she is this year's host, or probably every year's host, of the Afro Carib Festival, which it's to celebrate Black History Month and Reggae Month. So welcome, Commissioner Davis. How are you?
Thank you, Anne-Marie. I'm well. Thank you for having me on your program.
Thank you for being here. And I know this is your first time, and I know you're no stranger to many in South Florida. But for those who don't know you, I'm just going to tell a little bit about your background, and then I'm going to have you kind of give us your journey in your own words, because I like for our guests to really know who you are before we get into our main topic of the day. So Alexandra P. Davis was born in England and raised in Jamaica, where she attended micro-practicing all-age school, Women's Girls High School, and the University of the West Indies, better known as UWI, obtaining her BSc degree in zoology and chemistry at their Mona campus. Now, see, zoology and chemistry. She has spent most of her life in public service, having worked for the Ministry of Agriculture in Kingston, Jamaica, the Capital Taxes Office in London, England, and Miami-Dade County government in Florida. In keeping with her heritage, she created a nonprofit organization called Carib Incorporated in 2003 to foster diversity, tolerance, and unity in the Miramar community, whose Caribbean population was growing exponentially. The efforts of this organization created a Caribbean cultural festival in the city of Miramar called Carib Fest, which we're going to talk more about that in your journey and how we got to the other festival that you're hosting now. Over the years, she has served on various Miramar boards, including the Planning and Zoning Board, Community Services Board, and Education Board. And, you know, I'm going to stop right there. You became the vice mayor in 2013, and then you came back into politics and became a seat 4 commissioner in 2019. And let's see, there's so many other highlights. Nominated lots of awards. Yeah, lots of awards. So yeah, let's just get right to it. Tell us in your own words. Like you went from zoology and chemistry to public service.
Yes, well, I've always worked in government agencies, as you can tell by my bio, whether it was in Jamaica, London, and when I came to Florida, I really worked in the Environmental Resources Department of Miami-Dade, as well as solid waste. So my professional career has been in science. However, almost like your hobbies then, I have done concerts, I've done fashion shows when I was on campus. I ran for hall monitor. I ran for the Guild of Undergraduates as a secretary. So I've always had that side of me. And so when the opportunity came in 2010 to run for office, I decided that I wanted to be the change that I could be in my community and put my hat in the ring, and I won that seat. So it's all about service at the end of the day. And there's different ways to serve, and that's what I love to do.
Well, I love it because I learned something new about you today. I had no idea about your science background and your environmental background, and you're working for the Department of Agriculture, especially serving in agriculture myself currently. Had no idea. So it was good to know. We call it pick your brain. So let's talk about, so you were the founder of Carib Fest, which I'm assuming is probably the precursor to Afro Carib Festival that we're going to talk about later. Let's talk about like you and your passion for starting Carib Fest and the purpose of that.
Yeah, so when I moved to Miramar, which has been over 30 years now, and as the population began to change from a small Italian type of community to a more Caribbean robust community, I found that we weren't having in the city that I lived in any kind of activities to reflect the new community. So I spoke to my commissioner at the time, and just came up with this idea with a couple of friends that we wanted to showcase Caribbean culture. My son at the time was very young, and I didn't frequent Jamaica, but I wanted him to understand our culture right here. So I proposed this event where we had music from Haiti, Jamaica, Trinidad, all across the Caribbean, Cuba, and we brought it to the community so that they could feel more at home in this new land that they live in. And I thought, we need to reflect the people in the community. You can't ignore the changes when they come about. And so this was well received over the years. And then when I ran for office, I continued under a different, obviously, different company. It was no longer on the Caribbean, Carib Fest. But we brought a Caribbean event to the city where the city now took this event and ran with it. So this is just a now renamed and revamped to include African culture. And as you know, Afrobeats is so very popular. And to have it now, instead of Caribbean Heritage Month, which we do Taste of the Islands, we brought this event to Black history. And so it's Black history meets reggae, because reggae, I found out just a couple of years ago that there is a month that celebrates reggae. And I thought it was important because a lot of the music is an offshoot of reggae, which should be celebrated. You got reggaeton, you have Afrobeats, you have hip hop. All of those, we have to really give credit to reggae.
I agree. Just even watching the Super Bowl, I think it was Jeep's commercial that had a reggae, and it was probably the hypest commercial during Super Bowl. And I was like, see, it takes a little reggae to just turn things up. Like if you got a boring party, you put on some reggae, it's gonna turn the party up. So we definitely have to like honor reggae and what it does for culture.
Because even Rihanna, Riri, one of her songs is a reggae beat that she performed. So you cannot deny the impact of reggae on the world. Quite frankly.
Absolutely. And so what that brings me to the current festival, Afro Carib Festival. You talked a little bit about the inspiration and the influence, but I want to dive into that a little bit more. Why is this festival so important for the culture? When I say the culture, because if anyone knows Miramar definitely has a very large, probably one of the largest Caribbean populations in Broward County, South Florida, and probably the state of Florida. So then now with Afro beats really taken off over the last few years internationally, this is such an important mix. So I want you to kind of dive into that a little bit more and tell us about why this is important today for the culture, and dive a little bit deeper into the inspiration as well.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, Miramar is one of the southernmost cities in Broward County. And even in the last census, we were deemed to be the largest pretty much region of Black and Brown folk, which is Caribbean, whether you are Spanish speaking, English, Dutch, French speaking. And so this southern area of Broward County, which we are the fourth largest city in the county, so we're the largest city in the region, and we want to make sure that we capture the cultures of the Caribbean in some of the things that we do. And this particular event is one that does that. And so if you look at the lineup, we have reggaeton, we have compa out of Haiti, reggaeton out of Cuba, Afrobeats out of Africa. We have some R&B. We have some, which is a local act. We also have some, obviously, reggae, which is our headliner through coffee. But all the cultures converge. And with techno, with the Afrobeats, you get not just the sounds, You get the taste of the foods, the various foods. We have African vendors, Cuban vendors, Haitian vendors, Jamaican vendors. And so you'll get that at one location. And this is not something that you find all over the country, of course, and you really hardly ever find it all in one place in South Florida. Normally, there's one genre of music or another. And so we've blended this together, and it's been a good mix.
Well, that is good. And I'll say this with love, like that weekend, and I know this because I have to activate like 4 teams that weekend at all these different events. That weekend is for some reason, a very, very busy weekend. So there's a lot of competition that's happening. You have Sobe Food and Wine festival that's happening that weekend. I know right there next to you in Hallandale, they're doing a food and wine festival. You have, Sis Trunk Historical Festival happening. You have Nomi Music Festival happening. There's so much happening. Why should someone who's listening choose Afro Carib Festival over all these other happenings? And I'm sure there are more, but all these other happenings that also support the culture and the diaspora as well?
Well, because this is a place where if you haven't tasted, for example, Haitian grill, or you haven't had Cuban bread, not that anybody here has never had that, but there are folks that will be coming from out of town, out of the region, who just want to get some of the culture from the Caribbean as well as Africa. None of these other events are priced the way we are priced, to have acts like Coffee, who has really probably been in South Florida only once that I'm aware of, performing, who is a Grammy award-winning artist, the likes of Techno out of Africa and Afro beats, which is just the hot topic right now. And we have, again, Jacob Forever, who is a star in his own right with reggaeton out of Cuba. We have Young Wyland, a local, as well as Alexandra Starr. And we actually have a surprise with a reggae artist out of France. His name is David Carroll, and he will be performing. So we run the gamut when it comes to cultural experience and inclusion. And that's why we believe that this is the best festival for that weekend. At a price of $25, you really can't go wrong. We have a top-notch venue, a covered amphitheater that really protects you in case there's any weather issues. And just the whole ambiance of Miramar is such a great place to experience this kind of festival.
Wow. Well, first of all, you got me with the price point, $25 to see all of that. So, is there going to be some jollof there? Like,
yeah, we do have an African vendor who'll be doing African food, African clothing, jewelry. It runs the gamut. And if you've never been to the continent, this is something you can come and experience. If you've never been to any of the other Caribbean islands, trust me, when I first moved to South Florida, I didn't know anything about the Haitian culture. I came to South Florida and learned about their food, learned about the music, and got to experience it here first without ever traveling to the island of Haiti. The same thing with Cuba. Even though I've been to these places now, reggaeton, I would have never experienced it outside of being in South Florida. So there are many who are here that really have not been in touch with some of these other cultures. And I think if we learn more about each other, there's more tolerance, and we can live in a better place, a better world overall.
No, I love that. And I think that's one of the things I truly love about living in South Florida, other than the sun and the beach, that's wonderful, is the diversity of culture, the diversity of food, diversity of music, diversity of people and lifestyles. So I love that. And I love that you're able to bring that aspect to this festival for people to really experience that. I'm coming with a empty belly, so I can be with a full belly. So it's funny because there's this one African restaurant in Miramar.
Yes.
That literally comes from West Palm Beach to go get jollof from. Wow. And there's also Jamaican. Are you guys going to have Cleveland's there?
Yes.
Yes. Cleveland's going to be there?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Listen. So for those who are listening, if you're not familiar with, so Miramar, like I'm a foodie, so I go around South Florida to just eat, clearly. But Miramar has two gems that are very unique to Miramar and to the region. A Nigerian restaurant. I can't think of the name right now. I just know the woman owner. She's a doll. And we go there to get jollof and some of the other, great cuisine she has. And then we go to Cleveland for all of the ice cream, especially for those vegans out there. Men, there's a whole vegan section of ice cream in Cleveland. So I'm excited.
Yep. Good food, good music, good fun. Yep.
Yeah. So how does someone get tickets, number one? Because,
Yeah. So tickets can be had at Afro Carib Fest Miramar.com. Once again, Afro Carib Fest Miramar.com, or even at our box office at the venue, which is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 5.
And will they be able to get tickets if they just decide, some people may be like me, that's just hopping from one event to the next. Yeah. And it's like, look, I'm going to go to this one, and then catch this one. Can they get tickets at the gate?
Absolutely. There's box office and they can get tickets there for sure.
Okay, good. Well, what else? Any other updates? Anything else exciting happening in Miramar that you're leading the charge with, Commissioner Alexandra P. Davis?
Well, we have a prelude to the festival Friday night called the Selector Showdown. And for those who party at the clubs here and there once in a while, we have 3 DJs who are going to do a showdown at the park, at Shirley Branca Park in our historic neighborhood of Miramar. And so DJ Ever Never, DJ Terra, and DJ, what's his name? There's another DJ. I remember it before. But what they do, they're going to be playing different genres of music, and they will compete for $1,000 prize. So the genres will be for example, R&B, soca, Afrobeat, reggae, compa, different styles of music, and the patrons will get to experience that. And that is absolutely free. So folks can come on down. It's from 7 to 11 p.m. DJ Ferg is the other DJ, and they can experience a nice outdoor party with a nice vibe as we gear up for the Afro Carib Festival. And we'll have ticket giveaways as well at the event.
Ooh, that sounds like a nice pregame.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's another one that we really encourage people to come to. And then the Wednesday, which is the 22nd, we'll have the Reggae Icon Awards, which we will be celebrating none other than Marcia Griffiths. Everybody knows the Electric Slide, Electric Boogie. And she'll be here. We'll also celebrate Winston Powell, Stone Love's founder. And Marlene Bastian will get the Marcus Garvey Award. And she, of course, is Miami-Dade County Commissioner. So we're really looking forward to a weekend of activities as we celebrate Black History meets reggae in the city of Miramar.
I love it. This is amazing. I think that's great. Pretty unique. So if someone's looking for a unique experience, and if you just love reggae music like I do, love African music, love reggaeton, which I do. I do, my workouts to reggaeton, and reggae. Let me say good workout. But anyways, but if you just love the music, the culture, make sure you check out Afro Carib Festival. The details as far as the website is scrolling at the bottom, and you can see here the lineup: Jacob Forever, Coffee, again, Grammy Award winning artist, Jay Perry, Techno from Africa, Alexander Starr, Young Wyland, And of course, the surprise guest that Commissioner Davis mentioned earlier. And of course, you'll be able to come out and greet Commissioner Davis, and I'm sure the mayor and all the other commissioners and other local celebrities that will be there. So, and there are many sponsors that are supporting this event. So as we saw there, so it looks like it's going to be, what are you expecting? How many people do you expect?
Well, last year we had about 3,500, so we hope that we can up it this year. So we're looking forward to a good crowd, and so that everybody will be happy, the vendors will be happy, and the patrons will be happy.
Good. Well, 3,500 is pretty good, especially because last year, was that the first year last year?
It was our second. We
Second year.
took a break 2021 because of COVID. So yeah. So.
Okay. Well, listen, it's good. People want to be outside.
Yes.
So I think it's all good. Like I said, personally, I will be stopping through. And I'm sure, and that'll be on behalf of the Mosaic Group, but I'm sure there'll be others from MIA Media Group and Legacy who will stop by and support as well. And so, any closing thoughts that you'd like to leave with our guests? Of course, tell them once again how to get tickets would be great, Commissioner Davis.
Absolutely. So once again, tickets can be had at Afro Carib Fest Miramar.com. We can't forget the Afro Carib Fest Miramar.com. And also the other events that I highlighted can be found on our web site, miramarfl.gov. So that's miramarfl.gov. We look forward to seeing you. We want to make sure that we can have these events that folks can feel right at home with as we celebrate Black History and we celebrate Reggae Month. And we expose ourselves to various cultures of the Caribbean and Africa at a wonderful festival with a wonderful ambiance. So we hope to see you there on Saturday, February 25th. Doors open at 4 and the show starts at 5 and goes on through to 11 p.m.
Awesome. Well, stay with me for just a moment while I do some quick announcements. I want to thank our sponsors again, Demeslin and Dover Accident Attorneys, AARP, the Florida Lottery, FAMU Marion, All of Us Research Program at the University of Miami. Don't forget to check out our Black History issue, our Black History Month issue, which you can currently see in our digital format at miamediagrp.com. That's miamediagroup.com. Also, don't forget this Saturday, so excited, we have the Legacy Brunch and Fashion Show, which is this Saturday, February 18th at Le Meridien in Dania Beach, where we are honoring South Florida's most influential women in business and industry. So come on out and let's celebrate these women who are doing amazing work in our communities and in business. And then don't forget, of course, on the 25th, Afro Carib. Go ahead and get your tickets for Afro Carib Festival with the information that we have provided and that Commissioner Davis has provided. And of course, please be sure to watch all of our shows. We have something for everyone. On Mondays, we have the Business of Black Business at 1 p.m. with Jay Reynolds. Tuesday, My Money, Your Money at 7 p.m. with Bridget Lumpkins. Wednesday, Soul, where we're telling you all about entertainment, relationships, health, and more with Nikki Jellin. Thursdays, Lunch with Legacy Leaders with yours truly at noon, and Flavor of South Florida, where we're highlighting all the great places to eat. I just told y'all I'm a foodie. At 7 p.m. with Chef Irie, and we can't forget about your health because health is wealth. Black Health Fridays at 2 p.m. with Dr. Michelle Kerwin. Please be sure to mark your calendar, share this video, subscribe to all of our platforms so that you can stay updated, subscribe to our weekly newsletter so that you can receive updated content on what's happening in and around South Florida. And again, be sure to get your tickets to Afro Carib Fest. And hopefully I'll see you all on Saturday at the brunch. And have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Commissioner Davis.
Thank you.
Thank you.